The Passat is a mid-size car from Volkswagen, first introduced in 1973. Today, the car is manufactured at the Emden plant in Germany. The name Passat comes from the term for steady trade winds found in tropical latitudes. Moreover, the Passat was not the only Volkswagen model named after famous winds and natural phenomena. For example, the Volkswagen Golf was not named after the popular sport, but rather the Gulf Stream ocean current. The Volkswagen Jetta was inspired by the jet stream, high-altitude air currents, while the Volkswagen Scirocco takes its name from the Italian word for the southeast wind. The first generation of the Volkswagen Passat was launched in 1971. Initially, it was available as a two-door and four-door sedan, along with similar 3-door and 5-door versions. Essentially, the first Passat was a sedan version of the Audi A8, which had been introduced a year earlier. In 1974, a 5-door station wagon was added to the lineup, sold as the Audi Fox in North American markets. At launch, the Passat was powered by 4-cylinder gasoline engines, a 1.3-liter 55 and 54 horsepower, and a 1.5-liter 75 and 84 horsepower, both mounted longitudinally. These same engines were used in the Audi A8. In 1979, a fuel-injected version of the 1.6-liter engine debuted. All models received a facelift in 1977, featuring an updated interior and exterior design. Depending on the variant, the Passat was available with either 4 round headlights or 2 rectangular ones. The second generation of the Volkswagen Passat was launched in 1981, built on the B2 platform, which was based on the Audi A8 platform introduced 3 years earlier. The Passat B2 was slightly longer and featured a redesigned exterior. One of the most noticeable changes was the introduction of rectangular headlights. In addition to hatchbacks and the station wagon, also known as the variant, a classic sedan version was introduced, which was sold in Europe as the Volkswagen Santana until 1985. The all-wheel drive Synchro version was introduced in October 1984, initially available only with a powerful 5-cylinder engine. Like the previous generation, the Passat B2 was primarily equipped with 4-cylinder gasoline and diesel engines. However, unlike its predecessor, the top versions were fitted with 5-cylinder engines from Audi or Volkswagen, ranging from 1.9 to 2.2 liters. The all-wheel drive system in the Passat Synchro was mechanically identical to the Audi A8 Quattro. In 1985, all versions received a facelift, which included larger bumpers, interior updates, a redesigned grille, and new taillights. The third generation of the Passat debuted in 1988. This was the first Passat to feature a transverse engine layout built on Volkswagen's own platform, entirely separate from Audi platforms. This generation was available in just 2 body styles, a 4-door sedan and a 5-door station wagon. The engine lineup for the Passat B3 included both naturally aspirated and turbocharged gasoline and diesel options. There were 3 diesel engine options, a naturally aspirated 1.9-liter and turbocharged versions of 1.6 and 1.9 liters. The all-wheel drive version remained in the lineup, and transmission options included a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic. The fourth generation of the Passat was essentially a major facelift of its predecessor. While the body structure remained the same, exterior panels and the interior were redesigned. Out of the 700,000 units produced, 60% were station wagons. Production ended in 1996. New engines were introduced, including turbocharged diesel engines from the TDI family. The fifth-generation Passat was introduced in 1996. Unlike its predecessors, the new model was once again unified with the Audi A4 and Audi A6. This allowed the use of powerful, longitudinally mounted Audi engines. Even the all-wheel drive versions of the fifth-generation Passat, featuring synchro and 4-motion systems, shared the same Quattro technology from Audi's fourth-generation system, including a center differential. The Passat B5 was available only as a sedan and a 5-door station wagon. The engine lineup included 4, 5, and 6-cylinder gasoline and diesel engines ranging from 1.6 to 2.8 liters in displacement. In mid-2001, the Passat underwent a facelift and was renamed the Passat B5 Plus. The updates were primarily cosmetic, including new headlights, bumpers, taillights, and chrome accents, giving the Passat a more modern look. Additionally, the engines were upgraded and new equipment packages were introduced. The sixth-generation Passat debuted in 2005. Unlike its predecessor, this model no longer shared a platform with Audi, but was instead based on the Golf VW platform. As a result, the Passat now featured a transversely mounted engine. In its base configuration, the Passat was equipped with a 1.6-liter engine, producing 102 horsepower. The FSI direct injection engines came in 1.6 and 2.0-liter versions, while the turbocharged TSI variants 1.4, 1.8 and 2.0 liters delivered between 120 and 200 horsepower. The top-tier version featured a VR6 3.2 FSI engine with 250 horsepower, and in 2007, Volkswagen introduced its most powerful Passat yet, a 300 horsepower model powered by a VR6 3.6 FSI engine. Diesel versions were available with 1.6 and 2.0-liter engines. The Passat B6 was offered as both a sedan and a station wagon. In 2008, Volkswagen introduced the Passat CC Comfort Coupe, a 4-door coupe based on the Passat B6. Positioned as a competitor to the Mercedes CLS. This version of the Passat was designed to be more stylish and luxurious than previous models. The available engines were identical to those of the standard Passat. At the end of 2011, the Passat CC received a facelift, bringing its styling in line with the larger Volkswagen Phaeton. Although the Passat B7 was not an entirely new model, it was a significant facelift of its predecessor. The updated body featured a redesigned front grille and headlights, with the exception of the roof and windows, which remained unchanged. New features included adaptive high beam control, dynamic turn signals, driver fatigue detection system, automatic emergency braking for city driving. The interior saw minor changes, but the instrument panel retained its familiar layout. The Passat B7 was available in 3 trim levels: Trendline, Comfortline, and Highline. The top all-wheel drive version was equipped with a naturally aspirated V6 3.6-liter engine producing 300 horsepower, while diesel options 1.6 TDI and 2.0 TDI range from 105 to 177 horsepower. The 8th generation Volkswagen Passat debuted in 2014. This model was built on the MQB modular platform and offered 10 different gasoline and diesel engine options, with power outputs ranging from 120 to 180 horsepower. A standout addition was the 2.0 TDI Turbo, 240 horsepower, which allowed the sedan to accelerate from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 6 seconds. Volkswagen also introduced a plug-in hybrid version featuring a 1.4 TSI engine paired with an 80 kilowatt electric motor, delivering a combined output of 211 horsepower and offering an electric range of 50 kilometers. In early 2019, the Passat B8 received a facelift. The refresh primarily focused on exterior styling with redesigned fog lights, bumpers, and a revised front grille. The car's overall length increased by 8 mm. Inside, the 2019 Passat B8 lost its analog clock on the center console but gained a new multimedia system with a built-in SIM card, online video capabilities, and voice control. A notable addition was the 2.0 TDI 150 horsepower engine with a diesel particulate filter similar to the one used in the latest Audi A6. Other available powertrains included 1.5 TSI and 2.0 TSI gasoline engines, along with their hybrid variants. The Passat GTE plug-in hybrid model received an upgraded battery, allowing the 218 horsepower sedan to drive up to 70 kilometers on electric power alone. In 2023, Volkswagen unveiled the 9th generation Passat B9. Built on the upgraded MQB Evo platform, this new Passat is exclusively offered as a station wagon variant. The engine lineup includes gasoline, diesel, and hybrid options. Notable additions include a 1.5-liter TSI engine with a mild hybrid system and a plug-in hybrid e-hybrid variant with an electric range of up to 100 kilometers. Inside, the new Passat features a 15-inch multimedia display and a head-up display. Soundproofing has been improved and the model now offers an advanced adaptive suspension system DCC Pro. The Passat B9 has become more technologically advanced while maintaining its traditional strengths, spaciousness, comfort, and practicality.
Volkswagen, das Auto.